I am live. Welcome to the channel, everybody. It's me, Russ. Sitting in my backyard. Outdoor live stream. First outdoor live stream of 2022. And it's a doozy. Hopefully you're gonna enjoy this one. So I've got a few topics tonight. First of all, I do TaskRabbit, so I work for an app and I do gig work. And some of the gig work I do is as a mobile mechanic. Like I show up at people's houses and work on their car. But I got hired by this young woman to help her buy a car. And this is smart. Like if you're buying a used car, especially today with the prices the way they are, you should probably hire a professional or hire someone to look at the car and make sure that you're not getting ripped off, right? There's a lot of shyster used car dealers out there. Working as a professional mechanic for 2 years, man, I could tell you some horror stories of people that were just like, it felt bad. Like you just bought this car, you signed on the dotted line, 36-month loan or whatever for a car with 100,000 miles on it, and they're falling apart, some of these cars. And so this video is there was another video. I'll put a link in the description to another video that somebody did similar to this one. It was the top 16. I'm doing a top 15 cars that will go based on data and statistics. All right, so the best odds that are in your favor when you buy a car. So one of the questions she asked is like, what car should I get? Is there a car that I should buy, that you would recommend? And she had like 3 cars in mind, and none of them I would really recommend. But, she had her heart set on one of these 3 cars. And she ended up buying one, which was cool. And I had some other mechanic friends that helped me with that. And, because there was some suspension problems, so they needed to get it on a lift. So I requested a shop to take it to, stuff like that. Anyway, so the best odds, how do you get the best odds of buying a car that's going to get you at least 200,000 miles? I think you're getting your money's worth when you have a car that goes over 200,000 miles, in my opinion. So what I've tried to pull together here, but by the way, welcome to my backyard. This is a beautiful summer day. The outdoor living space, it needs some work, I'm not going to lie. But this is what we're dealing with. So let me pull this together here for you. So iSeeCars is sort of a database, iSeeCars.com, sort of an automotive database online, and they analyzed 15.8 million cars that were sold back in 2019, so 3 years ago. And the reason they did this was to determine which models have the highest percentage of cars that reached over 200,000 miles. Now, there was a lot of number crunching. There's a lot of data in this. So some of the guys at Fastlane Car on YouTube, one of their producers actually did some work on this and came up with 16. I've got 15 because one of the cars wasn't really 200,000 miles. And I'm trying to focus on vehicles that, again, in my opinion, are going to go over 200,000 miles. So, and some of you, there's some mechanics out there that you may actually be surprised at some of the cars on this list. So basically the way that the numbers work here are the percentage of cars that are still on the road, right? So, and there's no years on these. This is just something that happened in 2019, going over a bunch of used cars, cars that have been driven, right, over 200,000 miles, and what percentage of them, based on how many were manufactured, are still on the road. All right, so that's the first number. The second number was the segment average. So based on the segment of the vehicle, right? Whether it's a crossover, a sedan, a coupe, I don't know. One of these, there's just a lot of math that's built into this. But the segment average, how much better is that car than the segment average? Like if it's a crossover or an SUV, what better percentage is it than the segment average? All right. So that's part of this number. So yeah, if you're looking to buy a used car, or you know someone who is, these are the cars that have the highest chance of an afterlife, right? Have the highest chance of going 200,000 miles or better. All right, so I'm going to get started here. Who's in the? Hey, Tom Cook's in the house. Tom Cook, how's it going, buddy? I finally did a live stream where for my friends on the East Coast, where they're not in bed already. So be like late night with Russ Shaw. You know, the late night shows are like David Letterman. I'm not a late night guy. Enjoying a Modelo, no product placement involved, but nice summer day. Kind of a light beer with a lime in it. Number 15. We're going to start from number 15 and we're going to roll it back. What car at number 15 on the list gets this was actually blew my mind a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. This was like, really? I have to find it because I have all these things open. Is this it? Boy, no, that's not it. Hold on. Hey, bear with me, people. Oh, here it is. Here we go. So now StreamYard, I'm still learning the ropes on this thing, all right? So now I'm going to share my screen with you and display, if you'll give me a moment. I know. This takes a minute. I will have to edit this video later. Add a camera. Where do we add a camera? God dang. I'm still learning this. StreamYard is killing me. Share. Here we go. Share screen. Share screen. All right. Chrome tab. Here we go. Now I figured it out. Nice. All right. Where is our car? So here's the first one on the list. Am I sharing my screen yet? Hold on. There it is. It is hold on. Let's do this one. It is a BMW X3. That's right. The BMW X3 is on this list, which blew my mind that a BMW, because they're so problematic, right? That some of these cars were still out there. Now the BMW X3, it's really low. So they barely made 1% that are still on the road, but it makes number 20. It makes number 15 on this list. So 0.2 of these vehicles, and this is 2 times the segment average for luxury crossovers, apparently. 0.2% of the BMW X3s are still on the road with over 200,000 miles on them. So let's give them a golf clap for the BMW X3. You know, as a mechanic, do I still, you know, would I recommend you buy a BMW X3? No. You know, they just have problems. It depends on the year. And again, the years aren't added into the numbers the way they crunch these numbers. It's just, this is the name of the vehicle. This is how many are still out there with 200,000 plus miles on it. So the BMW X3, we had a lot of them come into the shop with the rear brakes, because their electronic e-brakes would lock up. and C's, and they come in on a hook. So again, depending on what you were after, that's a common problem with these, apparently. Common problems is something you can actually Google on cars too. If you're looking for a car, what are the common problems? That's one of them. So number 14 on the list, the Honda CR-V. Now this is now we jump quite a bit in the percentage. All right. The percentage points on this one. So the Honda CR-V, as far as it's a crossover, 1.1% of them are still on the road over 200,000 miles. And that's 2.8 times the segment average, which is pretty good. Honda crossover. I'm going to jump to that one. Share screen. God dang it. Stop screen. Share screen. Okay. Share. Killing me. Share screen. Chrome tab. This is just not user friendly. I might stop using this. Where are we? We are on Honda CR-V. There it is. And here's a local place that has this vehicle available. So, these vehicles are out there and they're for sale. And I looked all of these up right around in our area. So I live here in Everett, just north of Seattle. And here's one for sale, right here in Everett. 2007 used Honda CR-V EXL, if that makes a difference. There it is. No, that's the Ridgeline. Hold on. See, now I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, I am botching this live stream. I know it. I know I am. It's okay. So, what number are we on the list? We are number 14. That's the Honda CR-V. 1.1% of them are still on the road over 200,000 miles. 2.8. Now number 13, coming in at number 13. And there's a lot of mechanics will tell you this too. So wisdom, there's this for some reason this list and this live stream here reminds me of the Bible. there's a scripture, I think it's in Proverbs, that reminded me of, is like, wisdom cries out in the streets at the top of her lungs, right? This female character known as wisdom is shouting in the streets, and people are walking by and no one is listening. I thought that was powerful. Very, very true. So that is the Honda CR-V coming in at number 14. I'm going to see how fast I can get this. I'm going to learn how to add multiple cameras. No, I don't want to add multiple cameras. Share screen. Here we go. Bear with me. All right. So the number freaking 13 on the list. Are you ready? Are you ready, people? Number 13 on the list. I know this could take some time. Is another product. Hondas and Toyotas, man. How many Toyotas on this list? You're about to find out. Acura is basically another it's another Honda. It's a fancy Honda is what it is. So this is the Acura MDX, and this comes in at number 13. 3.2 of the segment average, 1.6. All right. 1.6, the percentage of these cars that are still on the road over 200,000 miles is 1.6. We're getting close to 2% now that are still on the road over 200,000 miles, which is curious to me. I mean, I have a Dodge Caravan. There's no, sorry, my Mopar friends. There's no Mopars on this list. There's no Chevys on this list. All right. There's no GM products on this list, which is pretty amazing. But it depends on how you treat your car. And even the small things that break down can be expensive if you don't know how to work on your car and you're taking it to a shop. So some of that information is valuable in the way they crunch these numbers. So yeah, that's the Acura. Now we're going to move on. Moving on, Russ. Come on, a little faster. This is one that you've all heard of. Number 12 on the list. We all know and love this vehicle. It is. It's been in our hearts for many years, since the 80s, 90s. Hold on. Just bear with me. There it is. And number, jeez, share screen. There's got to be a faster way of doing this. Share screen. There it is, right at the top. The car that we all know and love. That's right, it's the Honda Accord. The Honda Accord is on the list for vehicles that last for a great long time. 200,000 miles or better. What are the numbers, Russ? 1.8%. We're getting closer to 2% still. 1.8% of Honda Accords are over 200,000 miles, and that's 2.6 times the segment average. Whoa. Sorry, that probably made some noise. Of vehicles that made it over 200,000 miles. Now, number 11 on the list is another car that I'm sure you've known. And if you're an Uber person, like if you do Uber and Lyft, if you don't own a car, you live in a city, you're thinking about buying a car, it's probably cheaper to do Uber and Lyft. I'm not going to lie. It's true. Hold on. Here we go. So the number 11 on this list, another car that we all know and love. I don't know if we love it. I'll be honest, it's ugly. A lot of these cars are not super cool cars. Did you notice that? Like a lot of these cars are like, I mean, as far as looks are concerned, I mean, the Honda Accord's kind of cool. MDX, I don't know. This is the Toyota Prius, man. It's the only hybrid on the list that will go over 200,000. The battery technology is good. These little cars, they make taxi cabs out of them that are over 200,000 miles. That's one thing I used to tell as a mechanic. I would tell Uber drivers, like, what if I'm going to get a car? What kind of car should I get or rent? Toyota Prius, man. They just run forever. They'll run 200,000-300,000 miles. These cars are amazing, and they get really good gas mileage. I'll be honest, not the most pretty car in the world. Some of the newer ones are a lot better looking, but right now with gas over $5 a gallon, all the Toyota Prius owners are like, you made fun of my Prius, didn't you, buddy? So what percentage of these are still on the road over 200,000 miles? Again, 1.8%. So not quite 2%. There's a little spike in the next one, but yeah, the Prius. The Prius is a fantastic little car. If you get a chance to, if you're looking for a used car, man, Prius. I'm telling you what. All right, the next one on the list. See, repetition. You do repetition, you start to understand how things work, and that's the best way to learn. is by repetition. And here's another car, you know, again, a mechanic. Ask a mechanic who's got some experience, and they will tell you a lot of the cars on this list. All right. This car is another one you've heard of. It's another car we all, am I going to say know and love? Yeah, you're judging me now, aren't you? It is the Honda Civic. Here's a 2013 Honda Civic. And this one is, how many miles are on this one? Let me check that out. Because prices are a thing, you know? Now I got some car dealer trying to chat with me. They assume because I'm on their website that I'm shopping around. That's interesting technology, right? I could sell cars that way. Stop it. Get out of my deal. Anyway, I'm at a loss for trying to figure that out. So that is the Honda Civic. All right. Now, what are the numbers? What are the big data numbers on the Honda Civic as far as the data crunchers over 200,000 miles? This is a huge jump. All right. We've gone from less than 2% are still on the road to 5.8%. So 5.8% of the Honda Civics that were built and made in a factory somewhere, depending on the year. Again, they don't give us that information. But 5.8% are still on the road. 2.3% are still on the road. It's 5.8% times the segment average. So based on coupes, Civic is a coupe, right? I guess they make sedans too. Is there a Honda Civic? Yeah, I don't know. But it's 2.3%. Sorry, I messed that up. 5.8% times the segment average for that vehicle, whatever that segment is. So now we are on to number 9, moving down the list as fast as I possibly can. What is number 9? Oh man, the sun is right behind me. Hold on. This is not good. I'm sitting in the backyard. Now I got the sun in my craw. All right, bear with me. This is outdoor live television. Can you call this television? I don't know. Oh, that's weird. That's even worse. All right, there we go. Hello, people. It's me, Russ. I'm still here. Still trying to figure this out. I know I'm botching this live stream. This live stream is horrible. But it's good information, so stick with me. 23 minutes in. I am going to share with you number 9 on the list. Top 15 cars with the highest percentage of afterlife, over 200,000 miles. I think you're getting your money's worth, by the way, at 200,000 miles. This car, is this one that might surprise you? I don't know. But this car is on the list. And again, it is by a auto manufacturer that you have probably heard of. What do mechanics say? Get a Honda or a Toyota, right? And there's a lot of Hondas and Toyotas on this list. And number 9 is no disappointment. Here's a 2004 Toyota Avalon. 9,000 miles. 9,000 miles. $9,000. Almost $10,000. Talk about holding its value. A 2004, that's 18 years old. This car can smoke in most states, right? It can go to the movies. It can sign a contract, all right? It can get married, this car, at 18 years old and still worth almost $10,000. At least that's what they're selling it for. I bet you could talk him down. I bet you could. All right, now number 8 on the list, moving right down the list. And number 8, oh, this might be a surprise to you. This is one of the American auto manufacturers that is on the list. and you might be surprised at this one. Sorry, my head's cut off, but if I move back, the sun is behind me. See, I should have thought this whole thing out before I started live streaming. Oh, here we go. I can go this way. I'll sit this way. There's my dirty barbecue in the background. Okay. Can you hear me now? Anybody? You still out there? Tom Cook, is he still here? I don't know. Tom Cook's a mechanic, and he will appreciate this, hopefully. I don't know. American auto manufacturer on the list. 2%, 2.6% are over 200,000 miles. And this is 2 times the segment average for this here vehicle. And it is, are you ready? Drum roll, please. I don't have a drum roll. See, if I had buttons, I could just push the drum roll, right? And there would be a drum roll come up. All right, here it is. It is a Ford product. It is the Lincoln Navigator. And look at this, 2018 Lincoln Navigator, 56. Oh, stop with that. $57,000 for a 4-year-old Navigator. $61,000. This is Ford on the list, which is impressive. Bunch of 2018s. Here's a 2017. You go back 1 year, it drops. We worked on one at the shop. We did an engine swap that actually made financial sense at the first shop I worked at. And they needed a new engine in their Navigator. And yeah, my master tech, Tony, did it. And it was actually totally worth what, I forget what year it was. It might have been 2018, 2015. 2015 is down to $25,000. But that one was surprising that's on the list. Coming in, the Lincoln Navigator, coming in at number 8. 2.6% of these are still out there with over 200,000 miles, and that is double the segment average. Now, minivans. Here we go. There's a minivan on the list coming in at number 7. If you're a family person, you're looking for a minivan, this is going to be your jam, all right? Looking for a used vehicle that odds are will go over 200,000 miles. I'm telling you, you're going to like this vehicle. I don't know if you're going to like it. They have other funky problems I've noticed with these vehicles. We worked on the door latches and, the motors that roll the windows up and down, that unlock and lock the doors. But here it is, 200,000 mile afterlife vehicle. It is the Honda Odyssey. Here's a Honda Odyssey. It's a 2017 for $40,000. That's right, $40,000 used. Wow. The Honda Odyssey coming in at number 7. Number 6 on the list. We're getting close to number 1. You might be surprised at what number 1 is. You'll be really surprised at what number 3 is. I was like, no way. But it's true. All right, number 6 on the list. And watch how fast I do this now. I'm getting quicker at this. Number 6 on the list. 200,000 miles or better. What is it? What is the vehicle, Russ? A little quicker, please. Oh, it's a pickup truck. So this one is, I was kind of surprised at this because we did see this one in the shop. That came in. I mean, people take care of them. Some maintenance on them, but they did have a few quirky problems that weren't super bad. Like for me, if you're going to buy a car, you don't want your transmission or your engine going out. These vehicles were a little quirky, had some issues, but the Honda Ridgeline is on the list to go over 200,000 miles. And it is, here we go. This is 3%. So 3% of Honda Ridgeline pickup trucks That's pretty big. So we've gone from 2% to 3% now. 3% or over 200,000 miles, and it's 1.6 times the segment average for pickup trucks. You know, the Ford F-150, I guess, is the most common domestic vehicle in the country. Not just pickup truck, mind you, but vehicle, right? The Ford F-150. There is a bunch of these vehicles on the road. I'm betting they're over 200,000 miles. But, you know, again, crunching these numbers, this is what they came up with. We got the Honda Ridgeline coming in at number 5. Number 4 on the list, another one of these afterlife forever cars. Not a big surprise. There's a lot of these on the road. I see them a lot. I recommend if you were going to get one, a crossover or a SUV or something, this is a great car to get. Whoa. Share screen. Yeah, this is just kind of cumbersome. I'm telling you what. All right. It is. Oh, you're killing me. Killing me, StreamYard. I just need to learn this like a karate person, you know? You know what I'm saying? Here it is. We all know it and love it, especially if you're an off-road person. This is a vehicle that you're going to see in competitions off-road. It is the Toyota 4Runner. Here's a 2016 Toyota 4Runner for $31,000. If you're going to finance it, $422 a month for a used, pre-owned 4Runner. But 4Runners, man, it's a good little vehicle. This one's got, wow, 131,000 miles on it, and they want over 30 grand for it. That's interesting. Interesting indeed. All right, next on the list of, so we're down to number, wow, we are down to number 3. Now this one kind of blew my mind. All right, I'm not going to lie. How this car is on the list, I'm skeptical. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm a little skeptical of this one. And you know, because it's a sports car. It's the one sports car that's on the list. It's considered a sports car. All right, I would call it a sports car. There's no Camaros on the list. There's no Mustangs on the list. There's no SRTs on this list, unfortunately. This vehicle, though, as a sports car, is on the list. And if you're a mechanic, you might be wanting to sit down. If you work on cars for a living, this one may surprise you. You may, right? It is the Audi TT. This one is, what, 20 grand? Wow. This is a 2013 Audi TT. I wonder how many miles are on it. This has got to be, this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder. That's why. That's probably why. But the Audi TT is number 3 on the list. Over 200,000 miles. 4.1% of these cars are over 200,000 miles. That's a pretty big number. That's almost 3% times the segment average. 2.7% over the segment average for that vehicle. Interesting. All right, here we go. Now we're getting down to the top 2. Any guesses, anybody? Still going good. Tom's in there. Tom, what do you guess? You got a guess on the 1 or 2 on the list? You know, you could guess the make, right? Like, is it you say Hondas or Toyotas? Something about Hondas or Toyotas, man. Number 2, we're going to go after number 2 on the list. And they're the last 2, spoiler alert, they're both by the same auto manufacturer. Here we go. So going after number 2. Finding my Chrome tab. My wife is sitting across from me. She is on the edge of her seat, wondering which vehicle is number 2 on this list. All right. And here it is. You ready? It is the Toyota Highlander. Here's one. This one's got, and there, this is a great price. This is a 2008, so it's, 14 years old, but it's only got 115,000 miles on it. It is just a baby. Internet price is $19,000. See that? There's cars out there that people buy that are just garbage, like a Land Rover. Just don't. I might have said the X3, but it's on the list. I would still if my advice to you I'd much rather see you in a Highlander than I would a Land Cruiser or a Bronco. Don't get a Bronco. Get one of these. Not as cool looking. Again, not sexy. It's just it's just a Toyota Highlander. But what are the numbers? Let's crunch the numbers on the Toyota Highlander. 4.2% are over 200,000 miles. So 4.2% of these vehicles are 200,000 miles or better. That's 1.2% over the segment average for this vehicle. Something about I wonder if accidents play into this too. I think when you're up higher in a vehicle, like a crossover or an SUV, you're just, you can see better than if you're sitting on the ground. Basically, a lot of sports cars, sedans. I heard the police did numbers on these and these newer, because I worked for Ford, right? We did the police interceptors, which is basically a Ford Explorer on steroids. The police interceptor. But because officers were sitting up higher, they got in less car crashes. Another interesting fact about policing is that most cops do not die in gun battles with the public. All right. Most police officers die in auto accidents. That's the number one reason police officers die, is auto accidents. And you're sitting in a truck or a crossover or something like that, you're up higher, you can see better. Also, another interesting fact was back problems. So when they were driving around these Crown Vics, I'm surprised Crown Vics aren't on the list, but they're not as popular in 2019, Crown Vic. But there's many of those taxis, limos, the Lincoln, right? Town cars, the Crown Vic. Hundreds of thousands of miles on those vehicles, but cops their back was hurting, right? Because they're getting in and out of these vehicles, having to stand up, slide out, again. So I'm wondering, just it's my commentary on this. There's a lot of these trucks and crossovers and SUVs on this list. So coming in at number 2, that is your Toyota Highlander. And it is a vehicle that I would recommend if you're going to get. Number 1, though. Number 1 is a huge jump in numbers. All right, I didn't flub it this time. Live streaming media. Hey, it's me again. I know my head's cut off, but the sun's right behind me, so this is the best view of my backyard paradise that I could give you. So you're going to have to bear with me. I know. Hold on. Here we go. Coming in at number 1 on the list is, a lot of you may be surprised, some of you won't. And this one's interesting because it's a bigger engine. So you've got, in these vehicles, you don't have some little tiny turbocharged, right, hairdryer, heater thing going on, not burning up that motor with all this heat. You got, yes, it's going to use more gas. It's not going to get the greatest gas mileage, but it is on the list. And it is, wait for it, drum roll, where is it? Hold on, bear with me, people. I know this is a crazy live stream, but it's something it's not here. Oh, seriously? It's a Toyota. All right, it's another Toyota. It's poor gas mileage. Any guesses out there? Here's one I found from 2014. All right. $2020. Here's a 2016. This one's even better. Number one on the list, 15%. 15% of these vehicles, and you just think about how people mistreat these vehicles. You know, as a tech in a shop, I saw a lot of these cars not being treated very well. Right? You know, people don't change the oil. This vehicle, here we go. Here's a, this is a Land Cruiser. FJ Cruiser base. Is that the same as a Land Cruiser, Russ? Sure it is. This vehicle, let's try this again. All right. It's the Land Cruiser. Anyway, 15% of Land Cruisers are still on the road, over 200,000 miles. Share screen. Here it is. This is a base model 2016 Land Cruiser. And Toyota of Lake City. How much is it? $62,000. It's got 111,000 miles on it, and it's 62 grand. Oh my OMG. Oh my golly gosh. That's amazing. So this is an automatic 4-wheel drive base model Toyota Land Cruiser. These vehicles go forever, and they usually have bigger engines in them, but they're not friendly on gas, but they will get you to where you need to be. The only one that's on this list that's friendly on gas is the Prius. So there's that. And so that's my list, and that's my live stream for tonight. I've kind of botched this. So those of you who are, Tom Cook's still here. Subaru. Tom Cook's like, as a Subaru. There's no Subarus on this list. Subarus are popular cars these days. I'm not a huge fan. You know, I mean, they have transmissions problems. If you get you get a stick shift Subaru, you're probably better off. You can drive a, you know. All right, here we go. You can drive it. There's the sun. It's right behind me again. I just can't escape it. I can't escape the sun. Can't escape the light. Yeah, I'm facing the wrong direction for this. I have botched this live stream, but it's important information if you can bear with me. Or you could just look up who is it? So I based this off another guy's YouTube video, or another channel, Fast Lane Cars YouTube video. They did the top 16 based on some of the same analytics from iSeeCars, and they had the Tesla in there, but the segment average was over 150,000 miles. So there's a lot for a pure EV, electric vehicle. So far, the Tesla is the best EV that's out there, and they threw that out there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream just because the sun is not cooperating with me. The sun is still here. Hey, Tom, is the sun still up where you're at? It's probably set, right? Tom is on the East Coast. He's over there in the Midwest, I believe. Tom Cook is. Record video better. Yes, I know. If I could edit this down, it would be a much better. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But thanks for watching. I was going to talk about more stuff, but this is a little annoying. I don't know about StreamYard. It's expensive and it's a little cumbersome. So, oh, that's better. Hey, look at that. Sun starting to set. Ohio. That's right. Tom Cook is in Ohio, and it is dark in Ohio. And it's setting here. So yeah. Also, Ozzy. I wanted to talk a little bit about Ozzy Osbourne has a new album, and I'm an Ozzy fan from back in the day. Love the guy's music. This shirt that I'm wearing now is I got it off his store, so OzzyOsbourne.com. You can buy stuff, and there's tour dates on the back of this shirt. So this shirt was only $10, and the reason being is because these tours never happened. Right, the Ozzy got sick, so the tour dates that are printed on the back of the shirt are not a thing. So that's part of why this. But he's doing a new album with Jeff Beck, which should be interesting, and there will be a tour if Ozzy makes it through surgery and survives, or becomes one of the undead. Right? You know, Ozzy as a vampire or a zombie would be extra cool, but I don't know about that. I think I'm betting for Ozzy to do this last tour and to make it. So I'm getting a CD, by the way. That's how I found out about this store. Was I belonged to a group for CD collectors on Facebook, and they said this guy comes out. It was like, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm checking Facebook, which I know I shouldn't do. Not good for my brain, not good for my sleep. But I'm glad I did this night, because this guy said Ozzy is hand signing something like 700 CDs, which I'm skeptical. First of all, Ozzy at his age, I don't know. And it's going to take a while. So the album doesn't come out till September, and it won't be released till then. But they said, if you buy now or pre-order now, Ozzy will hand sign your CD for the next, I don't know how long it was. And I don't know how many they sold. 700, I don't know. I'm throwing a number out there. It was a lot. And he only like said this, it was only on the website for a few hours. And I tried to share it with some of my other friends who I know are fans, and it was gone. So, but I did end up buying one. So I can't wait to share my hand signed Ozzy CD, Patient Number 9, which is the new album. So, hey, if you like this video or enjoyed this video, give it a like. I'm still learning StreamYard, so I know that this was probably hard to watch. And the sun being right behind me makes it weird. And my head being cut off through half the video. I know. I'll get better at this. I promise. Thanks for watching. Tom Cook, thanks for sticking with me through this and being patient with me as I figure out technology. Later, everybody. Peace out. 49 minutes. Can I make 50 minutes? I'm going to end at 50 minutes. and later.